All right, guys, today we're going to talk a brand new motor from Furitek. This is one when I first seen it, I thought, do I really need that? But then when I got it in my hand, I 100% see why they went this route. So I loved the idea of the original Unity here. The problem with this is it's just huge, right? So it's very hard to fit this in pretty much anything. Even this truck that is really wide open right here, I had to notch my front links down a bit just to keep it from hitting this motor. Now, if you want to mount it, to the rear, I guess you could do that, but you need some space for this thing in here. The other issue with this is you really have to turn your drag brake down quite a bit on these because being fully enclosed like it is, ESC and motor, it tends to run warm. A lot of times I have to turn the BEC down some, drag brake down to kind of keep it from getting warm. Mine hasn't been terrible, but I know a lot of people have had issues with heat on these. Now this new mini Komodo Unity is brilliant. So this mini Komodo may be the best motor that Furitek ever released. I love the pancake style motors. The only issue with them is some builds, having that pancake style, the larger diameter, is a little tougher to fit. That's why a lot of these things, like the MOAs, are based around the smaller micro Komodos. But if it comes to performance, I actually prefer these pancake style motors over the micro Komodos and those sort of style motors. So this does still have the Bluetooth dongle. It's just kind of pre-wired in. You just leave it there. So it's pre-wired into the motor. I like that they went with no power switch on this. So the way the original Unity was, you had this power switch that you had to figure out where to put it, just added to your wires. This one is just, when you plug it in, it's on and ready to go. All right, so we'll see here, I've got the Unity Pro. And let's go to our running. I was running a 7.5 voltage on the BEC output for the servo. 0 on the drag brake, which definitely helps out for the heat. The steering on this truck is absolutely awful. That's one of the things. I love this little build, but I've got to fix the steering if I'm going to drive this thing much at all. It's got the behind the axle steering, and it's terrible. I get 0 steering out of this thing, but I haven't did any mods to this. It's just it's an old build, but it's just one of those fun builds. It's a simple, take it out, have fun with it. And I had an absolute blast running this thing. It was high 80s probably yesterday. It felt like it was 100. I was just dying out there in the heat. And as I said, this thing ran nonstop. Just absolutely had a blast driving this thing. Even though the steering is terrible, it's just so fun to kind of take some of these scaleless type, less capable builds out sometimes. And I really enjoyed this thing. And of course, this motor is just insanely smooth. So look at this steering. I'm telling you, I really need to take the time and fix that, right? That's awful. I love this little truck, even with that. And that's just terrible. But this slow crawl is really good, right? The control on it, and this thing's actually pretty capable for what it is. I was running it on this 2S, decent wheel speed. I will say, I don't think I would go submerging this one in water. I got it in a little bit of water, you'll see in the running clips. But the thing I love about this motor over the original Unity is just, I think we're gonna be able to fit this in some tighter builds. There's no way I would consider this in something like this right here. And, it just, like this, running it towards the rear, it's just going to be in the way of everything, my body, drive shafts. There's no way you could fit it forward facing. You're going to be all up in everything. But this mini Komodo, I think this would actually be a good choice for something like this, because I don't have to worry about trying to mount an ESC somewhere along a slider or just cramming it in somewhere. It's all right here. So all I got to worry about is a receiver and a battery, or however I choose to lay it out. But You can definitely fit this. Being that the motor mount is actually a little higher, you'll see how the transmission is and the motor mount's kind of up a bit. I think I can actually even mount that forward facing in this if I wanted to. I'm not 100% sure it'll clear. We'd have to see. But even if I face it towards the rear, I think we'll be okay. But we may try that in there. Pretty impressive little motor. I had a great time out with it. I've got a lot of running. So I'm going to throw it in here, and we'll just talk a little bit more about it as we're running it. I got back out to the Nolan Dam area with this truck, and this is one of those places, like, there's a lot of really cool lines for the micros out here, but I usually end up running 10 scale because anytime I go out here, everybody's running 10 scale. It's a really good place to kind of test and tune the 10 scale stuff, but there's a lot of cool lines for the 24s, and I was actually really surprised some of the stuff that this thing pulled off, being a pretty simple build, more scale-ish, just like going down that, like, that's really steep. And I was just kind of surprised this thing made a few of these lines. Now here you can see I was trying to catch the water down and make it through this line real quick, and that was pretty fun, actually. I kind of wanted to do that again, but I was a little nervous that I'd lose it in the water, because if it had rolled right there, it probably would have got caught by the water and been gone before I could have got to it. Sometimes, you just got to go for it. Risk it for the biscuit, right? But this motor and ESC combo it's really good. And for $100, you're getting the motor and ESC plus your motor mount. So for an SCX24, you're ready to toss it in. I think that's a pretty dang good price for this. If you purchase a $40, $50 ESC in any motor, you're going to be approaching that price tag. And with this, you're getting the all-in-one combo that's a little more compact than what we've had before. It's super smooth. It's a 2500 kV motor, 2 to 3S capable, 30 amp ESC, burst is 50 amp, I think. The BEC on it is 5.5 or 7.4. I would like to see us be able to get that 8.4, just because I basically always want as much power as I can get out of my servos. But it ran perfectly fine. As I said, in this truck, the steering's awful anyway, so I really wouldn't even notice. But 7.4 is usually plenty with a good servo. You can see there the wheel speed was really good. I ran on 2S the entire time in this truck and didn't feel like I really needed any more. And that's something I normally always run 3S, but this does come with like the PH 2.0 stock connector that you have in your SCX24. So I just ran a simple 2S pack that I tossed in here that fit well, plugged right up, so you could use your stock battery. You will need a separate transmitter and receiver combo. There's plenty of those budget ones that you can toss in with this, and you'd be set, and I think this is really the SCX24. One of the main things you need straight out of the box with a brand new SCX24 is a new motor and ESC and servo usually. So spend $100 for your motor and ESC all in one. You get the motor mount, the pinions installed, everything you need to go. Toss it in. You get the Bluetooth capability so you can tune it how you want, or just do like I did, throw it in and go. Everybody always asks me like what settings I'm running with my Furitek's, and to be 100% honest, usually I throw them in and just run them, and like I don't really mess with anything much. Now sometimes if I feel like they're running hot, I'll turn down the drag brake. That's a key thing. You don't need the drag brake on. With an SCX24, you don't need it. Turn it down to 0. This one was already at 0, so like that's probably why I didn't have any heat issues, even though I was out in this heat. Had to find some shady spots to run. It was so hot. But as you can see here, I felt 0 heat on this motor, like not even warm. So to be 100% honest with you, I was pretty surprised, because pretty much any motor is going to have a little heat on it, especially out in this blazing heat that I was running in. And this thing, as you can see, I can just hold my fingers on it. Like, it didn't even feel warm. I think there's a couple things that really lead to that. The way that the ESC is the part of the combo that is mounted against the motor mount or the transmission, That kind of helps dissipate any heat that the ESC would be getting. And then the venting kind of around it. So being that we have the Outrunner style motor and then the venting around the ESC, it's got like the open fin areas. It works. Whatever it is, it works really well. So seeing that they've kind of made this into a more compact version that runs much cooler is perfect. I mean, they really nailed it with this. And they do have this available for pretty much all of the platforms. The Ascent 18, the Venture 18, the Evos or CR18P. You can also get it with the transmission, which is what I have here, for $150, and that makes it even easier to toss into your SCX24. You don't even have to mess with mounting the motor. You just 3 screws to take the transmission out, remove your drive shafts, drop the new transmission motor, combo everything in, put the 3 screws back in, the drive shafts back in, you're good to go. Now here you can see again, I'm the only 24 scale out running, but we had a little fun with it. And really that's all that matters. A lot of times people say, oh, I don't need a brushless, I don't need this, I don't need that. My truck's fine. And that's awesome. Like, I hope you love your truck exactly the way it is when you take it out of the box. But if you're looking to upgrade, then I think this is a great way to go. Yeah, I love the Furitek stuff with the app and everything that they offer. It's just hard to beat it. And at $100, this is a really good combo in my opinion. I will link it in the description if you're interested. It's available for pre-order at Amain and a lot of other sites, but I love Amain in the US. I get my stuff in like 2 to 3 days almost always. So a great place to pick it up. But I just want to say thanks to you guys for sticking around. I want to say special thanks to the channel members. You guys, man, just the love that you've shown and helping support me do this, just it means a lot, because it's getting harder and harder with YouTube nowadays. If you're not doing this daily for a career and able to just post like crazy, it really makes it hard to get views and be noticed at all. And you guys really just help me to continue to do this. So I really appreciate you. Thanks to all of you guys for hanging out. Go click the like and subscribe. That helps more than anything. And I really appreciate all of you. Until next time, peace. That's when it's too hot right there. Can't even record with the iPhone.